Section 10. We must see God in all his creatures. In the state of abandonment, the soul finds more light and strength, through submission to the divine action, than all those possess who resist it through pride. Of what use are the most sublime illuminations, the most divine revelations, if one has no love for the will of God? It was because of this that Lucifer fell. The ruling of the divine action revealed to him by God, in showing him the mystery of the Incarnation, produced in him nothing but envy. On the other hand, a simple soul, enlightened only by faith, can never tire of admiring, praising, and loving the order of God, of finding it not only in holy creatures, but even in the most irregular confusion and disorder. One grain of pure faith will give more light to a simple soul than Lucifer received in his highest intelligence. The devotion of the faithful soul to its obligations, its quiet submission to the intimate promptings of grace, its gentleness and humility towards everyone, are of more value than the most profound insight into mysteries. If one regarded only the divine action in all the pride and harshness of creatures, one would never treat them with anything but sweetness and respect. Their roughness would never disturb the divine order, whatever course it might take. One must only see in it the divine action, given and taken, as long as one is faithful in the practice of sweetness and humility. It is best not to observe their way of proceeding, but always to walk with firm steps in our own path. It is thus that by bending gently cedars are broken and rocks overthrown. Who amongst creatures can resist a faithful, gentle, and humble soul? These are the only arms to be taken if we wish to conquer all our enemies. Jesus Christ has placed them in our hands that we may defend ourselves. There is nothing to fear if we know how to use them. We must not be cowardly but generous. This is the only disposition suitable to the instruments of God. All the works of God are sublime and marvelous, while one's own actions, when they war against God, cannot resist the divine action in one who is united to it by sweetness and humility. Who is Lucifer? He is a pure spirit, and was the most enlightened of all pure spirits, but is now at war with God and with his rule. The mystery of sin is merely the result of this conflict, which manifests itself in every possible way. Lucifer, as much as in him lies, will leave no stone unturned to destroy what God has made and ordered. Wherever he enters, there is the work of God defaced. The more light, science, and capacity a person has, the more he is to be feared if he does not possess a foundation of piety which consists in being satisfied with God and his will. It is by a well-regulated heart that one is united to the divine action. Without this, everything is purely natural, and generally in direct opposition to the divine order. God makes use only of the humble as his instruments. Always contradicted by the proud, yet he makes use of them, like slaves, for the accomplishment of his designs. When I find a soul which does all for God alone, and in submission to his order, however wanting it may be in all things else, I say, this is a soul with a great aptitude for serving God. The Holy Virgin and Saint Joseph were like this. All else without these qualities makes me fear. I am afraid to see it in the action of Lucifer. I remain on my guard, and shut myself up in my foundation of simplicity, in opposition to all this outward glitter, which by itself is nothing to me but a bit of broken glass.